talking about things that look like evidence, they want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the this looks like more evidence of our national secrets. Say on the stage at Mar-a-Lago.
We're here for, we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order, Mr. Chairman.
That's beneath even order.
How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl? I don't think
we are going to move and we're going to take your words down.
I second that motion.
If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What?
Because the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of hey, we know that. Yes, he is.
So that's Jasmine Crockett showing her performative blackness. And I say performative blackness because Jasmine Crockett is not ghetto. Jasmine Crockett grew up in the home with a preacher as a father. Jasmine Crockett went to a prestigious high school. Jasmine Crockett went to college. Jasmine Crockett is an educated black woman. So why is Jasmine Crockett stooping to the level to be ghetto, loud, rambunctious, cussing, acting a fool in a public place? Because that is the ghetto culture that certain black people, it's not black culture, it's that ghetto redneck culture that came from the Appalachians that black folks have adopted. And it was on the fringes. 60, 70 years ago, that culture was on the fringe. It was not magnified. It was marginalized. But after the introduction of the civil rights movement, when Marxism, communism, and socialism came in and destroyed the black family, and the black man was run out of the house intentionally and unintentionally or deliberately, and the government became the daddy in the black community, and the Democratic Party assumed responsibility, the government became the one that people look to for their source and not God. That is when this ratchet ghetto behavior began to be magnified. And then with the advent of hip hop, it really began to grow and become the dominant quote unquote culture, the way that people identified black folks. But that was not always the case. You have to understand something. This ratchet behavior, especially through rap music, was even frowned upon by the black church 30 years ago. If you haven't done so already, if you want to incorporate gold or silver or other precious metals into your retirement portfolio, go to thebiblicalconservative.com/gold or click on the link in the description.
Even sparked a national protest. But cops were not the only objects of derision. Women were too. More controversy was sparked by the frequent use of words like. Still, gangster rap continued to sell. This song by Dr. Dre currently ranks among the top-selling albums. To its supporters, gangster rap is a form of social protest, a kind of street theater, the heartbeat of urban America. But to its critics, it is simply an attempt to manipulate racist stereotypes for profit, to sell records.
We strongly believe that it is our Christian, moral, and social responsibility to speak out against evil forces.
It is that opposition that is creating the first real backlash to the music, a backlash born in the same place that gave birth to rap, the black community. Recently, opponents of hardcore rap gathered at New York City's Abyssinian Baptist Church in Harlem to say enough is enough.
It is not all right for our black male children to grow up and be drug dealers, gang bashers, or stick-up kids. But your negative lyrics and videos are telling them that it's all right.
Many of those who came to protest were primarily middle-class adults, educated working people, and parents who were insulted by the negative stereotypes of blacks portrayed in the rap lyrics.
But negative rap is a slap in our faces. It lets everybody know to a certain extent that we as black people must have low self-esteem, no respect for ourselves or anyone else, and we just don't care who we hurt as long as we're making the dollar.
I've had to endure that ugly N-word for some 400 years now, and enough is enough. Black women have been the objects of too much violence. They've been the objects of too much abuse and too much misuse, and enough is enough.
You see that? Even Raphael Warnock, you know, the pro-choice pastor, the one down in Atlanta, pastoring Dr. King's church, Ebenezer Baptist Church. That guy, yeah, that was Raphael Warnock from 32 years ago. But you see what has happened since. The black church, quote unquote, lost that battle. They lost that fight because hip hop culture, ghetto culture has become so ingrained in the mainstream that most of the people in that crowd have acquiesced, are giving in. And most of them probably have passed away or became silent. That crowd right there. See, that is what black culture used to look like. Growing up, that's what black culture was. It was respectable. It was graceful. It was classy. It didn't want to be associated with the folks acting ghetto, acting a fool in the store, in public, going around doing stupid stuff. That was not black culture. But that crowd right there, if you try to do this same thing today, if you try to have a protest today against hip hop music, you wouldn't get 15 people to do it. Because that culture has become so ingrained in the black community to where it is assumed that is black culture. But it is not. But you have these liberal, democratic black women being performative because they, just like most of the people in America, assume that being ghetto and ratchet is black culture. It's blackness. That's why I say it's performative blackness. Just take a look at some of their performances.
I'm a lawyer. A part of my practice is criminal defense work. There is no felony in the Texas Penal Code for what he says. So respectfully, he's making up some okay? He's trying to get sound bites, and he has no legal mechanism. And if he did, subpoenas from Texas don't work in New York. So he gonna come get us how? Subpoenas in Texas don't work in Chicago. He's gonna come get us how? So let me be clear. He's putting up smoke and mirrors. And I'm hopeful that the media doesn't follow that.
All the trailer parks are all covered. All of the people up in West Virginia in the hills, they covered. They got them all the way there to Wall Street. He did that. And we sitting there talking about the white women. Excuse me. Forget the white women. They're going to do what they white men tell them to do. That's what they tell themselves. Yeah, and you know, they be smiling in your face. Good. They want to stay in charge. They miss Ann. So I don't care nothing about them. I know we got to do what we got to do. That's my interpretation.
Of a lack of care and a lack of understanding and a lack of seeing the humanity of folks who look like Rashida Tlaib. It's outrageous that my colleagues are blatantly attempting to silence the only Palestinian American representative right here. It's outrageous, but it's not surprising. And let me tell you, it's not surprising because this place is where 1,700 members of Congress, this elected body, enslaved black people. It's not surprising because they thought it was right. It's not surprising because this is a place where members continue to claim that the insurrection on the Capitol just appeared to look like a normal tourist visit. It's not surprising because this is the place where our black and brown staff members repeatedly speak of experiencing racism and sexism, Islamophobia, get pushed off of elevators, xenophobia, and more right here in this workplace. This is the place. And let me say this, she mourns for the 1,400 Israelis that lost their lives. She mourns for the 10,000, and she will not stop. No more ceasefire now. And she takes the death threats that you all sent, that they
The gentlelady is no longer recognized. The gentleman from Maryland.
To her, the desire to save lives is greater.
Gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
That's what I said.
Fear is that, and this is, again, reporting out, the fear is that because some people are afraid that their district will change and diversify, like Council Baker's district, that people will run for office and that person will be a person of color. And so everyone is now super afraid that because Councilor Braden, a white woman, has it, that now that this body, because councilors, for example, all the white councilors here stick together, that they will vote or try to move the districts in a way that is not diverse sufficiently to be able to vote in electives of color. We have fought for a very long time. It is 2022. We're going back and forth about allegations, but here, people are not innocent until proven guilty. People are guilty first. People are crucified. People are lynched. Same old tricks, same masters though. And still, people, now everything's changed and everybody's upset. Everybody is boiling up. People are calling me and telling me, don't say anything, stay in your lane, be quiet, sit down, you will lose your seat, they won't vote for you. Fight, don't fight. What the I have to do in the council in order to get respect as a black woman? I don't hate you as a white woman. I don't hate you as a white man. I am sick and tired of this body so stupidly racially divided, so afraid, so depraved. People with no faith because they are afraid of their losing their advancement. They're afraid of bargaining. They're afraid of leveraging. These people have, oh my God, I can't even call you cowards because desperation deserves mercy.
And that wasn't all I could have played. And you may say, well, Donald Trump introduced vulgarity into the public political discourse. Yeah, he did. But there's a difference. Donald Trump is just crash and brash. He's not performing. That's who he is. These folks, they're performing. They're performing because they know to be quote unquote authentically black, there's certain things you have to do. If you want to be invited to the cookout, there's certain things you have to do. Certain behaviors you have to take on. Certain attitudes you have to embrace and demonstrate in the public if you want to be authentically black. And that's the problem we have in the community. The real war, and I may talk about this more in the future. A lot of people say, it's a war on white people. Maybe. But the real war is the war that's been going on for 60 years between black people that stand on biblical values, that have conservative values, that want to keep that going from when black people came out of slavery versus the ghetto, ratchet, redneck Negroes. That's the real battle. And that battle has been in place ever since probably the turn of the century around 1900. W.E.B. Du Bois talked about it. Booker T. Washington talked about it. Everybody recognized that. The black elites from the past probably made it worse because how they treated the folks that came from the South. And so now the people that came from the quote unquote South, the rednecks who are in power now, are exerting that power over the quote unquote black elite folks. That's the real battle that's taking place in America, that's taking place in the black community. And until we resolve that battle, it will continue to spill out into the rest of America like you saw in Cincinnati a couple weeks ago. Because that culture right here is built off of victimization. That redneck, ghetto, ratchet culture is built off of victimization. But we're not victims. We are empowered for greatness.